Okay, so Veronica Kieran from Green Cup Design here. We're going to do a quick website analysis per your request. So this is a pre-launch website. I want to make that clear to anyone who does watch this that Laila has been building this by herself, and she has come a long way, which is clear just from first glance. So these are just final polishing suggestions before she gets to launch. So first thing I want to say as far as first impressions go, I really like your logo. It puts a strong foot forward and draws me in. I like that there's a woman doing Om in the middle of the flower. I think that's really clever. I recall you said you are very appreciative of your graphic designer, that you think she did a great job, and I agree, she did a good job for you, and that makes you have a strong presence just right off the bat. I like the black and white as well. It keeps things simple, and so I'm not overwhelmed the first thing I get here with color. However, I do want to say, so we've got orange here, and then this looks like your main banner, and you've got a different color here. So I would consider working towards like a branded secondary color that you use for certain things. Something that I suggest with regards to branding for my clients is that you want to consider colors to be used with certain situations. So if this is the color you always use on your photo banners, then sweet. And if this is the one you use for titles, sweet. You don't want to have more than like 2 different colors playing, especially on the same page, because then you start to get overwhelmed visually. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. So I can see you're using a sidebar on every single page, which is fine. I usually suggest, however, for the home page to do a large banner with something like this in it, something with words that has a strong call to action, or at least call to me that like immediately identifies me with what you're doing. And having you be in it is great too, because then that allows me to identify with you and build that trust, which is necessary as a coach. I love this because you're a wedding fitness coach, right? So this makes me start thinking about my wedding dance and how I want to look, and I want to be able to fit my dress, and that's really important. I've seen a lot of women coaches or entrepreneurs have a large banner, and then right below it, probably above the fold even, it says, you know, sign up to receive or sign up for this. So you have a call to action immediately. That's just a design preference. That's not to say that you're going to lose clients by not having that. I do like that you do have an introduction right away, and I think that this is strong on all pages, so even if you don't have it a sidebar like this on the home page, having it on the rest of the pages is really great. So I love this. Something I noticed in your sidebar is that the Facebook API isn't quite working right now, and again, this is pre-launch, so no big deal, no need to panic. It'll be fixed, just a thought. So this right now looks like a blog roll on your homepage. I wouldn't recommend having your homepage be just a blog roll because that removes a huge opportunity for you to have really targeted language and images and ordering. So if you were to look at my coaching site, I have a small banner, a call to action, and then a little bit about me, as well as like the latest blog. But it's down further. You have to scroll to get the latest blog post. So I would really consider crafting a customized homepage, kind of like a blend of a landing page and an introduction to you. I can see you're using Enfold, yeah. So that's a really good step forward. You can change this though. Remove this from your copyright. That's in your settings. If you go to Enfold settings, footer, it will tell you how to type in no link so that this doesn't appear there. It's just kind of like tacky to advertise for somebody else, and a lot of people miss that. You don't need to. You paid for this, so there's no reason for you to advertise for their theme, especially when people like me come across it. I know you're using Enfold. Okay, so that's what I suggest for the homepage is tailoring it so that this is its own page, not a blog roll with a sidebar. Love the Instagram though, that's a really good idea. So as far as the sidebar goes, what you have in the sidebar is looking good. I would just make some changes to the homepage to make it an actual homepage. So leaping into About Me, as we load, that is one thing to note about Enfold, it's a bit slow. So you may want to consider doing a few things to speed it up. And I know you've been researching all this on your own. There's a couple great plugins that can help with speed, and there's a couple things you can do with your host as well. So kind of put that on the back burner. Your site is new, so it's a little bit lighter, but know that Enfold tends to be a little bit slow. So your page title is About Me and Contact. So I'm wondering like where contact goes. That's a whole different link from where we're at, but you may need to look at that page title. You don't want to confuse Google for sure. Okay, so introduction, super, super, super strong. I'm a girl who cares about her health, exploring, and living an extraordinary lifestyle. So that gives me a really good idea of who you are. From there, there's just a lot going on. I see your Angles of Latitude podcast and then a video here. I would honestly move the video up because it's way stronger. I would put it right here below the title before we get to text. People are way more likely to watch a video than to read anymore. Yay. And then maybe leave the Angles of Latitude down below. That'll break up the multimedia as well, which is nice. This could actually be a really great secondary title. So here's your primary, then you'd have your video here, and then below the video have the I won't do anything unless I'm passionate about it, and then your text. I think that would be a good thing. Here we've got some contraction issues. So won't, get your apostrophe here, apostrophe for I'm as well, and then period should have a period after it. So just to be redundant there, I would put a period after a period just because it's still in a sentence, even though it's kind of like a header. So just a quick note there. Love this counter. I think this could be a homepage thing, not a footer thing. Enfold has a great counting module that will like count when you land on the page, and it looks really fancy. You could have like 20 people helped. So remove the and counting. And then next to it, you could have another one that says, how many weddings have you saved? Which, I mean, you're not actually saving weddings, but at the same time, you're kind of saving weddings. You know what I mean? Like in a bride's mind, you save their wedding by helping their fitness. And the sitemap's a bit too long for the footer. So I think your footer just needs some work here. So think about different modules, maybe an Instagram, maybe contact information. You could have a link to the sitemap, but I wouldn't put this whole long sitemap thing here. And then maybe like links to like your latest vlogs. So maybe like the first 3. So you really don't want more than 3 lines in your footer. It just starts to get really long and clunky, and it's supposed to be an after thought anyway, so people aren't going to read it in detail. So that's just a quick note there. Okay. So about me, my wedding story. So your colors are consistent, so that's good. I would just think about that pink. Okay, you need, okay, so put this picture up. Put this picture up here. You need a picture here. This sidebar picture just doesn't count. The brain automatically knows that this is something else aside from this content here. So move your picture up. Do you mean for your head to be cut off? I don't know. Or if this is maybe somebody else. I like it. I just am curious if you wanted it cropped like that. But picture should be first. Again, so like the same with the videos. People these days are much more visual. They've got about 2 seconds of attention span, literally, on your page. So if they get this deep into your website, first of all, a lot of people won't even go past the homepage, which is why I'm saying make it stronger instead of just a blog roll. If they get here, they're looking for something visual to like immediately make them understand what they're reading, what they're going to be looking at. And make this bigger, like your other header on the About Me. I liked how it was centered. I liked the bigger text. I think you should do that across the board and make that just be your standard kind of branding. This is a lot of text, so it's not horrible, especially because it's a story. So I already know I'm expected to be reading a little bit more, but know that I wouldn't really do this on many other pages. Same with your About Me is a little bit more story-like. You could have some calls to action there, but I don't want to overwhelm you right before you're about to launch, so excuse the notifications. So I'm going to be commenting more on layout and on grammar than anything else. Here's a grammar thing. So this should be a comma. When I decided to get married, you actually don't even need punctuation there. When I decided to get married, I didn't know where to begin. I'm first family generation Persian American and got engaged to a non-Persian American. My favorite reading. That's really clever, and that gives me an understanding of a visual to get into your story. So, I would put a comma after the fiance, but that's an Oxford comma, and there's a whole grammatical battle on whether or not that's something that we do or not. But I think it makes it read easier. Period after not an opinion. I can't really go through all of the grammar just in this, but I'm trying to help real quick. Comma before I told myself, comma always before quotes like this, because it's something that somebody said. Okay, moving on. Services. So you told me you have 3 service areas. I like that they're kind of laid out in drop downs. I don't think it's necessary to have it laid out like this, though, because you have them laid out like this, which if you're going to have a little tagline underneath, these all look like different links, so look out for that. But if one's going to have a sub messaging, then I would have all of them have it, so it looks like they all match. Does that make sense? You've got a sentence under here, you've got a sentence under here, but you don't have a sentence under here. Again, imagery, a header that gets me into it, and this is where you want your you language. So you need to speak directly to me. Don't say anything about yourself first. You need to talk to me. Tell me why you're the person that I want to work with. Tell me that you understand my plight. So like this here, let's blast you off into an extraordinary lifestyle. That would be fantastic for your header. So centered like on the About Me in that nice text. It's called a special header. That would be fantastic. I want to know that you're thinking of me because I'm hiring you for me. I love hearing about your struggles and identifying with you, but I want to know that you're there for me. So lead with you language on these pages. Okay, this is not necessary to go to a different link since it's the same URL. So I would change that because otherwise it's going to clutter my tab bar and I'm going to get sick of it. So it should act just like this. See how that stayed in the same tab? You can change that in the module, so it should be a quick fix for you. Again, I need a header and a picture here, so that's going to be kind of like the thing I point to. You could make this text probably a little bit smaller and a little bit, you don't need the spaces. If you hold down Shift when you return to a new line, it'll stay close together. Since this is kind of like a terms and conditions almost, you can make that smaller without the spaces. And then this could be big again and centered and bolded because it's kind of like the finishing touch. This is like, yeah, we're going to do this. Here's what's going on. I think you could bold these as well since my highlighting is not working out, but I think you could bold these since they're the things that I'm looking for. And then if you have a colon here, have a colon here so that you have that consistency. grammar here, everything, put a G there. All right. Okay, so great. There's a picture here, but make it bigger. Use an image module that Enfold has. All of your images should be at least 1,000 pixels wide. For a header, like a banner on your homepage, it needs to be 2,000 pixels wide. So just kind of know that. I would do a special header again. I mean, this is something that should be bigger and should be more prominent. And I love that it looks, the special headings look different. It's a different font, and it's a different font weight, and so they look a little bit nicer as headings. But it's great that you're using your. So now you're talking directly to me, so fantastic. This is great. Look, can you believe it? You are getting married. Fantastic. You're pulling me in. You're making me understand that you know what I'm going through. Your ellipses need one more period. I think remove the extra S on yes. So this is a lot of text here, and I know that we were talking about that during our coaching session. I think you could bold these intros again. Great, you have columns on the end of each one, or colons, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm saying columns. But I would bold these because that will help break it up, because this is kind of like a wall of text. I would even put a header in, like, okay, so this is like, as a fitness astronaut, I'm going to help you like de-stress or take care of things or whatever. So it transitions me from this stressful content of you identifying with what I'm going through into I'm going to rescue you. So think about that. We've got a lot going on this site, so we need to figure out how to break it up and make it look, digestible. Okay, so header and picture again. Make this your header, special heading text. Bold this. Bold this. Great that you're restating this, kind of like reinforcing what you plan to do. You could make this text a little bit smaller and italicize it, kind of like we talked about in the last page. But really, this is a nice, short, digestible piece here. So photo, maybe of you in the middle of a pantry, something that has you in it is great because it reminds me that you're involved with me. But then, make me smile, make me understand that you're talking about pantries, and then a header so I get right into it. So this, for videos you link out to your YouTube, that's fine. It's good that you have it going to an outside link or outside tab. Whenever you link outside your website, you always want to go to a different tab. So that's really, really good. I think that you could eventually have that be like the vlog that we talked about, and have it all be internal, and then you just have the YouTube link here. But for now, I think that's fine. Testimonials, okay. So if you've got testimonials already, okay, you've got one. Put your period at the end of the T here. Get me a header and a photo here. It could be a simpler photo since it's testimonials. Great, you have one testimonial. It's really long, and eventually it's going to end up like you're going to have so many that it's going to be overwhelming. So I would think about organization, maybe tabs so that they're organized by each service that they pertain to. You don't need to think about it yet. This isn't launch critical, but start to think about it. And then take your quotes, break up a sentence or two that you think focuses really well on your different services, and then put a piece of that testimonial on your services page right before the image and right below the image and header, so that I'm starting to hear from people who have been in this situation and who have worked with you that yes, you really get things done and it really works. That will drive the concept home for the people who are viewing, and it will work really well for you. So keep gathering these. This is really, really fantastic and is going to do a good job for you. But intersperse them, quotes from them, not the whole thing, like a sentence or two throughout the website. Okay, your favorite things. We talked about this. I think there's a different place for this for sure. I think this could be a footer link. So you could have my favorite things like miscellaneous pages, or I don't know what. You could have it down here because it's not pertinent to me to be able to work with you, to be able to access this. You could even have the page as a link under your about. I don't think it needs to be in the top menu is what I'm saying. It's not that important. So then photography, your photography. Okay. I'm assuming yes. Didn't know that. We didn't touch on that, so that's cool. Great, so yeah, but I don't think, and then Etsy store. Okay, fantastic. Neat, but also it's not critical to me working with you. So these they don't need to be in my favorite things. They could be in the footer or linked on the About Me. If you have questions about that, just let me know. Finally, contact. Something else I want to say is the search could be just appended over here. It doesn't need to be in the main menu either. It's not that important. It could actually only be on the blog as well, or in the sidebar, like down here. It's not that important. Main menu is like for critical things to me to be able to work with you. Okay, and then as far as this goes, I need more information. Send you a message. I need some you language in there. Like, you can contact me at any time. I will respond within X amount of time frame. Or if you prefer phone, contact me this way. Or here's my Skype. Or here are maybe even reasons to contact me. So if you're panicked about your wedding, you can use this email form and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. So again, you're using that you language and you're getting me an understanding of like, why would I use this form to contact you? Because it's always a hurdle for people to give information. So if I understand like, this is the way to get to you, I mean, inherently, this is the only contact information you have on your site, so it must be the way to get to you, but you gotta make it super easy and you gotta make it about me. So that was a quick analysis. I'm sorry, it was a little bit fast. I have another meeting coming right now. So I'm glad that he's not here yet, so I was able to get through your site. Feel free to contact me at veronica@greencupdesign.com if you have any questions about anything I've talked to you about, or if I was unclear, anything, let me know, and we can go through this in a little bit more detail. But I think you, like I said, please do not panic about anything that I've said here today, because you already are 90% there, and you're doing great. All right, have a wonderful day.